Listen, let me ask you the same question that I put to that other gentleman. You're holding a Ron Paul sign. Quality candidate, nothing wrong with him. But I can tell you in Los Angeles, there are more people who are leaning towards Tancredo than Ron Paul or Duncan Hunter. And I was curious, in your opinion, why is Ron Paul the superior candidate to either of those two gentlemen?
Well, Tancredo is big on the illegal immigration thing.
Yeah.
But Ron Paul is the champion of the Constitution. Ignoring the laws has caused all this mess. You've got to get back to the basics. It's Ron Paul, 2008, folks.
Okay. Well, I think we can all agree any of those three individuals is going to be substantially better than Kucinich or Hillary.
Yes, sir. You bet.
Thank you for your time.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Listen, can you tell me if you could name one reason why you support Dr. Ron Paul for president, what would that reason be?
Restoring our constitutional rights. I'd have to say that's my number one reason.
Thank you very much. Good evening, how are you?
Good.
Listen, if you could name one issue that's important to you and why you support Dr. Ron Paul for President of the United States, what would that issue be?
Yeah, end of the United States' role as the world's babysitter.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Listen, one question. If you could name one issue that brought you to support Dr. Ron Paul for President of the United States, what would that issue be?
His monetary policies, his stance on economics. You know, it's really refreshing to hear someone actually go in depth in the issue and really talk about the issues that matter. His knowledge of it, his time involved studying the issues, really what gives him credibility. And I really admire that. He's a really learned man, educated man too on the issue.
Okay, great.
Really what came to grab my attention about it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Adele, and I'm a Ron Paul supporter. The reason I support him is because I survived the recession in the 70s, and we are heading into another one. Everything that was in our means is now out of our grasp. We cannot afford homes, land, property, education. This is something fundamentally not right with our country. We should be happier, better aspirations. We should not have to worry about half of anything that we're worried about nowadays. So please support Ron Paul. There still is hope.
Thank you very much. If you could name one issue that brought you to Dr. Paul or which you feel strongly about supporting Dr. Paul with, what would that position be?
It would be anti-war and stop support of foreign countries, especially Israel, because that's the one that's getting billions and it's leading us into war. And the Palestinians deserve equal rights there. So.
Makes good sense.
Right.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
Fine.
Listen, I got a question for you. If you could name one issue that brought you to Dr. Paul or you support Dr. Paul on strongly, what would that issue be?
The one issue that I strongly support with Ron Paul is his determination to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Because I feel that's actually destroying average Americans' savings, and just the standards of living are going down every year because of the Federal Reserve. That's why I support Ron Paul.
It's a great response. Thank you. Hey, good evening. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Listen, I got a question. If there's one issue that brought you to Dr. Paul or one issue that you support Dr. Paul on strongly, what would that issue be?
Well, he's against war. He's spreading democracy by sample rather than by tanks. He is smart. He's intelligent. He is very articulate person. He can explain people very nicely in right and wrong and why so. And I watch him on TV and very effectively give his answer. So even if media was against him, then he had a chance. He was winner each time when I see him.
Okay, thank you very much. Hey, good evening.
How's it going?
It's going well, thank you. How are you?
Doing fine.
Good. One question. If you could name one issue that brought you to Dr. Ron Paul, or that you support Ron Paul on, what would that issue be?
Be the Constitution, us returning to our roots and the way this country is supposed to be run.
Thank you. That's a good answer. Good night.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Excellent.
Listen, I got one question. If you could name an issue that brought you to Dr. Ron Paul, or that you support Ron Paul on, what would that issue be?
That would have to be the economy. If we don't do something and something drastic soon, we're not going to have an economy. So all the things that we would like to do for our nation, we won't be able to because we're going to be broke. So if Ron Paul has the answers, reduce the size of government, stop the nation building, bring our troops home, protect our own borders here, and we'll have the money to do the things that we want to do for our country and our people.
Thank you, citizen.